I went a little ham on the Lego investment sets for Black Friday here, so stay tuned to find out what I picked up. Hey guys, welcome into another haul video here, haul video number 151. So I hope you guys are having a great day, week, year, as we close in here on the end of this year. I'm actually recording this at the beginning of December, so hope you guys are having a great month. But yeah, otherwise, really excited to go over this stuff with you guys. So as I mentioned in the previous haul, like I have transitioned to reading digitally. And I'll kind of explain, I still have books to show, but I'll kind of explain more about that in the comic section here. But yeah, so a lot of good stuff here. For Lego, I was able to cash in on some really good Black Friday sales for some of the stuff that I picked up here. And then I also have some Pokemon cards to show you. So we'll go through what those are. Won't be too long of a section there, but yeah, really excited to go through this stuff. And again, this is kind of like 2 or 3 weeks of collecting for me, so definitely have slowed down my purchasing, which I guess works out because of the holiday season, but also helps me save money in the process too. So we'll go through all that stuff here, but let's start as always with the comics. Alright guys, so thank you for tuning into this comic book section here. So before I get into the comics, I do want to talk about what I've been reading so far since the last time we talked. So since the last haul video, I did go ahead and finish Thief of Thieves, which ended on a very disappointing note. We had a different rare that came on board, and it was just a very convoluted story that I just couldn't get into. That being said, I did read it in one sitting because I was like, I'm just going to get through this and be done with it. So I'm tempted on what I want to do with that series, if I want to sell it or hold on to it. I'm kind of leaning towards selling it back to someone. If anyone out there is interested in the whole Thief of Thieves storyline, I'll sell it to you. I think it starts strong. It just unfortunately had a really lackluster ending, in my opinion. And I'm sorry if you can hear some honking in the background. There actually is like a parade going down like near the town that's near me, so just ignore that if you hear that. But yeah, and also I did go ahead and finish the Spectacular Spider-Man Omnibus. So I finished that, read through that pretty quickly. I think I finished that in like a week, which is pretty good for me. That's pretty good reading there. Really enjoyed it. I mean, there's just some really classic Spider-Man stuff. It felt a little wonky and a little campy in the beginning, but as we get through the 70s and into the 80s of Spider-Man, it definitely starts to mature a little bit. And I liked it. So I would really recommend anyone who's into Spider-Man and has already read some of the Amazing Spider-Man stuff, I would definitely recommend picking this stuff up. I think it's a really good extra feature to it. For anyone who isn't familiar with the series, it pretty much picks up where like Peter is when it comes to his graduate studies at ESU. So it's more so following that cast of characters, like the people he goes to school with, more so than like his just larger group of supporting cast like Mary Jane and Jonah Jameson and stuff like that. It's not to say they don't show up in the series. They're just not as important to the stories, I guess. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it. Would definitely recommend. And I don't know if Marvel's going to make epic collections for that. I'm sure they will at some point. So if you're willing to wait till then, just do it that way, I guess. But yeah, after I read that, I did go back and I did go back into my Thor reading order stuff. And I read the recent epic collection that I picked up called Even an Immortal Can Die. And that had some Len Wein and Roy Thomas Thor stuff, which I thought was pretty good. I believe I did read some of the stuff that preceded or that came after this. I'll have to go back and check to see if there's a gap there, but overall it was pretty good. We finished up the Len Wein stuff that's in space, which I thought was pretty cool. The Odin quest, trying to find Odin. And then we get this whole storyline with Loki and these people that are coming that come to Asgard to basically film like an Asgard piece for Earth. And this guy already previously appeared in like a Thor book. I do remember him showing up in it. And one of his like cameramen become like the actual real Thor from like Norse mythology. So there's like a whole throwdown with that, and try and prevent Ragnarok. And Balder is like injured and being healed with the Odin Force. So overall, I thought it was a pretty good epic. I feel like the more I read Roy Thomas's stuff, the more I just don't like it in some ways. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say there's not stuff I don't like from Roy Thomas. Like, I really like his Avengers run, but I don't know. I just feel like he's very wordy sometimes, and like that came to. I remember reading his Doctor Strange stuff and like remembering that being really wordy, to the point where it was almost distracting from the book. And I felt like this kind of skated that line a little bit, but not too much. So that was good. Also, just some other series I read. I did read the Monica Rambeau Photon miniseries. That was actually the first full miniseries I've read on Marvel Unlimited. So I did go ahead and get a Marvel Unlimited subscription, and I just went ahead and read that. That was one of the books that was on my IST wish list, and I was like, you know what? Instead of paying $9 for this trade, just gonna read it online and save money. And that's kind of like what I'm targeting. And I know I kind of alluded to it earlier, but that's kind of what I'm looking at when it comes to my like online reading, is just looking at like smaller trades, smaller series, or just other bigger series that I just don't feel paying all the money for. Like, for example, like the Moon Knight Omnibus by Huston and Benson, or whatever it is. I forget what, it's one of those bigger omnibus from like the 2000s. I'm probably going to read that whole Moon Knight run on Marvel Unlimited instead of just paying for the omnibus, just because it takes up shelf space. And, I do have a Moon Knight collection, and it's just one of those things that I just think it's better to read it on there. Sorry if I offended my Moon Knight fans out there, but yeah, so that's kind of like the approach I'm taking with some of this, is just trying to pick certain smaller series I can read and save money on, and some bigger series that I can save money on too. And also there is, again, I know I'm going on a tangent here, but there is one book, if you want to call it, there's one book of issues that I basically downloaded on Marvel Limited that I'm going to read, and that is the Trial of Yellow Jacket, which is super out of print now. It's impossible to find. I think it collects issues like 218 through 231 of Avengers, and it basically just has the whole trial of Yellow Jacket, which I have never been able to find. So I just decided, let me just download it and have it, and we'll be good to go. So that's the approach there. But yeah, really excited to have that opportunity to kind of go and read certain things that I haven't been able to read in the past. But anyways, back to what else I've been reading. I'm on the fourth volume now of Postal. So really enjoying that series. I'm about halfway through, I think, the series. I think there's 7 or 8 trades I have here. And I'm just reading the main series. I think there's spin-offs that I haven't picked up yet, but I'll look into those, I guess, at some point. So there's that. And then also I'm on the 2nd volume of the Star Wars, the newspaper strips epic collections. They've only made 2 of them, and I've finished the first one. First one had some pretty lackluster stories there, but towards the end of the book we get into like the classic Star Wars issues from like, I think, the 90s. And the 2nd volume has all those issues collected, and I've really been enjoying them. It's the original trilogy characters, so I think this is between episodes 4 and 5 still. So we're kind of in that era, which obviously everyone loves to write about. But yeah, I've been flying through them and enjoying them, and I'm really excited to finish up this. And yeah, I've just been kind of delving into these epic collections a little bit. I might go into the Infinities epic for Star Wars next, because that's kind of like alternate storylines, and you know, I feel like that one's pretty standalone that I can read that one. But yeah, that's pretty much all my stuff that I've been caught up on reading. You know, I'm sorry it's taking 8 minutes to go over it, but yeah, it's kind of where I'm at with my reading. So a lot of good stuff for sure. But anyway, sorry to keep you waiting there. We'll go ahead and get into the books here. So the first book here, from the trade, you can see it, or from the screen, is the Batman City of Bane collection here. So I do have the first 9 volumes of Tom King's Batman, and I do believe I still have about like a 10-issue gap between the 9th volume and this volume, because I think this is basically just wraps up the rest of Tom King's run. So this collects issues 75 through 85 of Batman, as well as Batman Annual number 4. So yeah, this does collect the end of his run, and I do believe I've read all, if not, or most, if not all of this run, back when I was doing the podcast with like Mike and Vince. So, you know, I bought this just so when I can go back and reread this whole run, I can actually read it from start to finish and enjoy it all. So, that being said, I do remember really, really enjoying this era of Tom King's Batman run. I think it was really, really well written. It's just unfortunate because, you know, with his run, I heard a lot of things saying that he was supposed to write up until issue 100, and DC cut him short because they wanted him involved in other projects. And, you know, obviously the solo series of Batman Catwoman came out, or the Maxi series came out like shortly after this finished up. So, you know, there's still plenty of other Tom King stuff, Batman related, you can look up, but yeah, it's just what happened there. So yeah, so there's that. Next book here I picked up is the Star Wars Epic Collection here for the New Republic, Volume 6. And unfortunately, this book is dinged, so that kind of sucks, but it's not too big of a deal. But yeah, so since we're on the topic of Star Wars, obviously, like, I really enjoy collecting these Star Wars epics. I think they're really nice books to have. And unfortunately, I just haven't been keeping up with them as they've been coming out. So obviously I have some gaps. With the Empire, I'm missing Volume 6. And then with the Rebellion, I'm missing Volume 3. And with the New Republic, I'm missing Volumes 4 and 5. So, yeah, so, you know, just trying to fill in these gaps here. You know, this is some good material here. This has the Crimson Empire trilogy. So this collects Crimson Empire number 0 through 6, Star Wars The Bounty Hunters, Crimson Empire 2, Council of Blood, numbers 1 through 6, Crimson Empire 3, Empire Lost, numbers 1 through 6, and material from Dark Horse. Extra numbers 21 through 24, and Dark Horse Presents number 1. So a lot of good modern Star Wars material to look at, and obviously all this stuff takes place after episode 6, so that's kind of where this falls into the timeline. But I mean, honestly, none of this really even exists anymore, because Disney basically said that all this stuff is considered legends, which doesn't even exist. But I still enjoy reading it because I think it's some interesting history in Star Wars, so there's that. All right, some other books I picked up here. Some DC stuff that I didn't really long to look for, but yeah, some stuff here I was looking up online and found it for a pretty decent price on IST. One of them is the Wonder Woman Book 2 Ares Rising, and this is the second volume that comes after the first book that I picked up a couple weeks ago called The Last True Hero, I think. So this collects issues 77 through 89 of Wonder Woman, as well as DC Retroactive 1990s Wonder Woman number 1. So this, again, bridges the gap between Perez and Byrne's run on Wonder Woman. So that's why I was interested in picking this up, because I would like to just read like a full straight run of Wonder Woman straight through Perez. And then this is written by William Messner Loebs. So, yeah, some nice 90s art going on here. So I think this should be a really nice, fun, quick read, and a nice paperback too. I like this paperback's pretty nice. So got this for a pretty decent sale online on IST. Like it was discounted, I think 60% off. So I got it for like $12 or something, which honestly is a pretty good deal for this. So if for any of you that are asking, yes, I am considering going to DC Unlimited, I think it's called, or DC Infinite. I think I forget what the name of it. I don't think it's Unlimited. It's DC Infinite or something. That's like DC's online reading service. I'm considering it. It's just like the amount of like DC material that I have is just, I don't buy like, maybe I shouldn't say that, but I just don't buy the same volume of like DC stuff that I do with like Marvel and Image. I feel like DC's still kind of like third on that list. And also there's just some characters that I'm only interested in like a certain range of characters, like just like maybe like Superman and Batman, but like, you know, I think I'm fine just purchasing the books that I want for my collection as I see them. And maybe once I read everything I want to read from Marvel, I can look into delving into DC Infinite at some point. But for right now, I'm fine staying where I'm at. So there's that. All right, next book here is another book that I kind of found a hard time finding for a decent price, and IST had this back in stock, so I went ahead and picked it up, and that is the 5th volume of George Perez's Wonder Woman run. And this comes, trying to think, I think I'm missing, there's still a gap that I have somewhere there in there. This collects issues 46 through 57 of Wonder Woman by George Perez. Yeah, just some really great art going on there. Maybe not the best example of that, but yeah, I'm really interested in reading George Perez's run. I mean, it's definitely probably one of the most acclaimed runs of Wonder Woman that I've heard of. So definitely gotta jump on some Wonder Woman reading at some point, because I have a shit ton that I've not been able to get to. So there's that. And the last book here, this is sealed just because it's a oversized hardcover, and that is Ice Cream Man Sunday Edition Volume 2. And I believe this collects like issues 13 through 25 or 26 or something. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, this is a beautiful book. Kind of going into this blind, but this is written by Prince, who is the same writer who wrote King of Nowhere, which I did very much enjoy reading that as well. So I'm really excited to jump into this. My friends, you know, back when I was doing the podcast on Crackle Comics, I know my co-hosts were reading this book pretty frequently, so they recommended this book to me, and I've been glad to pick these up for decent prices. I mean, the cover price on this is $45, which is a steal for a hardcover this size. Image is just killing it with the prices, just because they don't need to pay Disney and all these other overlords, I guess. But yeah, I got this for like $20-some, I think, which is a pretty good deal. So really nice to have this on the shelf, and I'll have to look at moving some stuff around, as I always do with my collection. So there's that. But yeah, really fun to get that. But that's really all I've been collecting. I mean, that's, like I said, that's pretty much a month's worth of purchases for me. You know, 5 books. I mean, I'm definitely slowing down in terms of my purchasing, which my bank account is liking. But, you know, obviously there's certain books that I just want to have, you know, for my collection. And for every book that I purchase, I've been going through my collection and pulling out stuff that I am trying to sell, just because I don't, you know, it's stuff that I just don't think I'm going to revisit and reread at some point. Or if I do want to reread it, I can just go on Marvel Unlimited and reread it for free. So there's that. But yeah, that is my comic stuff 17 minutes later. Hope you enjoyed that. And I hope there wasn't a lot of noise in the background. The parade went by and I could hear Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You song playing. So hopefully that wasn't able to be heard on the video, but if it was, sorry about that. But But yeah, otherwise, let's go into the trading card section here really quickly before we get into the Lego. Alright guys, so welcome back into the haul video here. So I did go ahead and go to, I want to say I think I was at Target. I can't remember where I bought these exactly. But you know, I actually did get back into playing Pokemon cards again. My fiance and I actually went over to one of my high school friends' apartments last week, and we played Pokemon cards there. And just got me back into the hobby. You know, him and I, you know, both of us really liked Pokemon growing up, and ever since I got back in the trading card game, you know, he has wanted me to come over to play, you know, cards with him, and it was really fun. You know, we had pizza, we played some card games, we had a couple laughs, and so yeah, I'm really reinvigorated to play this now. And obviously my fiance and I, we try to play, you know, with these decks that we get every once in a while, and it's always a fun time. So these decks I picked up are some of the new EX battle decks that came out. The first one here is Greninja, so really cool to get that. One of my favorite starters from, definitely my favorite starter from the X and Y games. So you can see here on the side what it has, but all these are really nice. I'm really glad again that Pokemon has been releasing these decks at a really affordable price. You know, $10 for a ready to go deck to play with others is really fun. You can see here kind of the selection on the back, but yeah, I really enjoy this. And you know, for somebody who's thinking about gifts for their kids, you know, who are into Pokemon, I think these are really fun ways to get started, and really cheap. These are each $10, so you can't really go wrong there. Next one here, and this is kind of, I guess, the one that accompanies it, is the EX battle deck for Kangaskhan, which I think is an interesting choice there. So you get some grass Pokemon and normal Pokemon in this deck, but it's all built around that grass, or I guess it's leaf. I don't know. I think it's grass energy. I think that's what they call it. So yeah, so but yeah, I mean, really cool to get this. I have so many EX decks that I need to get sleeves for. I think this is the 5th and 6th decks that I still need to get sleeves for and get them boxes. So I'm gonna have to look at some type of new organizational method for this, because I have so many decks now. It's like I gotta find a new way to organize them all in a way that's you know, space conscious, I guess. I have some ideas, so we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, those are my trading cards. So I know it's a short section here, but you know, as it stands with my trading card collecting now, I haven't really been buying booster packs. I just don't really see the need for that anymore. I mean, I buy these just so I can play them with my fiance, you know, and I think these have more utility because I buy them, and then we get to play with them and match up different decks and see how they play. So that's always really fun. I like doing that, but I just don't see a need to buy ETBs or booster things anymore. I mean, I have some sealed ETBs that I might just keep sealed because, you know, they might go up in price one day and I can resell them. I mean, I just don't see a need to open them just to get all the stuff out and, you know, lose their value. So, you know, I think it's a good investment piece to hopefully resell in the future down the line if I need something, I need some extra cash for something or whatever. So there's that. But yeah, that is the trading card section here, guys. So let's go ahead and get into the Lego section, which should be fairly long. So we'll see how that goes. All right, guys. So I do have a lot of Lego to show you here, but honestly, I feel like most, if not all of this, I think not all, but most of it is actually for investment purposes. So I probably won't spend too much time talking about it, but obviously at the time of this recording, you know, there's some pretty crazy deals going on with Lego right now. So if you've been thinking about getting a set and you're not sure if you want to pick one up, depending on the price that it was at before, I would definitely recommend taking a second look at the websites now, like Amazon, Target, Walmart. They're running sales, usually different sales every week. So definitely would consider looking at that if you're into something that you want to get for somebody else or yourself. Just a lot of great deals. And for me, like obviously I purchased a lot of sets over the year, and obviously when they went on sale. So this pile of sets that I picked up here mostly is for investment purposes. So I'll kind of explain which ones are which, but yeah, we'll start off with the smallest one here, which is another Batman 1989 poly bag. So Target started selling these, so I was really glad to pick up one of these. And again, this is one of those poly bags that I think is definitely gonna go up in price. We haven't really seen this Batman in a lot of cheaper sets this year. I don't think this is the same Batman that we've seen in the Batmobile or Batwing sets. I think the cowl or like the cape is different. I don't think they gave that hard plastic cape to those figures. I could be wrong there, but otherwise, I'm really excited to get this for a decent price. And again, I think I have like 5 of them now at this point that are sealed. So yeah, I just have been building those up, and hopefully I can resell them at some point. Again, that's just strictly an investment piece there. All right, next set I picked up here. I did some research on this set because initially I didn't want to buy this because I just am not a big fan of the mechs for Marvel anymore, and I'm probably going to end up scrapping most, if not all of these parts. I'm not going to even bother building the set. But I did do some research, and I think this minifigure might be exclusive to this set. I could be wrong there, and if I am, oh well, I'll just have another Rocket minifigure to resell. But that is the Marvel Rocket mech armor. This is the 3rd one this year, and it's interesting. We're getting into the end of the year, and usually around this time is where we get announcements for upcoming Marvel sets, and usually the mechs are like the January 1st wave that gets launched for Marvel. And I still haven't seen any rumors or leaked images of the mechs for Marvel yet. So I wonder if they're going to be selling them next year. It's hilarious because for the longest time these sets were $10, and then this year they decided to try to rip everyone off and lower the piece count and up the price to 15, and obviously the market didn't bite because all these sets now you can get them for like $10, which is what I did. I got this for $10 on Target.com because nobody is gonna pay $15 for a mech. So yeah, I'm glad Lego learned their lesson, and it's funny because I'm pretty sure that they're just gonna take the mechs away now because they're gonna be like, well, I guess nobody likes mechs. It's like, no. People like the mechs, they just don't want to pay $15 for them. And it's funny too, because like they came out with the Star Wars mechs, which are awful, by the way, and those ones are even more expensive. They decided to make them $16 because Star Wars. So it's just, I don't know, it's silly. So I literally picked this up just for the minifigure. Again, like I said, I'm probably just gonna scrap the pieces because like these new like pieces they put for the legs are awful. Like you can't pose the legs, you can't pose the arms. Like they're very limited in their posability, which is what I liked about the first ones, is that you could pose them any which way you want because they had those little small ball joints on every joint that you could use. So just a really bad missed opportunity, a downgrade in a lot of ways with this set. So but the minifigure's cool. That's all I care about. Because I'm building up my repository of minifigures to the point where now I can probably consider reselling some of them. Just because I have duplicates of a bunch of them, and I could probably sell some for a decent amount of money. So we'll see how that goes. But all right, next up here we have again some other sets that I have built or I have bought that I am. I've been buying these slowly. Like I don't buy a lot of these at a time, but I usually buy 1 or 2 of these when I'm like, if I have an order and I need to get up to a certain order threshold, I'll put some of these on my cart. And that is the new battle packs here. So picked up another 3/32 battle pack here. This one I got for like $15 or something, so 25% off. Yeah, I have like 3 of these sealed now. I don't know what to do with them. I'm very tempted to keep them sealed because I'm like, I don't really need these minifigures in my collection. Um, I don't know. Like, something tells me that this is, I know that this is more expensive. I just keep it sealed versus if I open it up and try to resell the minifigures. Obviously, I'm not going to do that right now because these sets are still widely available. But yeah, I decided to just grab another one of these because why not? And then this one I know is retiring, I think, at the end of this year. So I wanted to grab it. Grab another one here. I think I have 3 or 4 of these now. And that is the Stormtroopers Battle Pack, which I don't think did as well. This one I got actually for $13 at Walmart, or I think Target. I think Target was selling it for $13, which I think is a pretty good deal. And I'm sure I'm keeping my eye posted on these. Like I'm almost certain that we're gonna get another discount on this stuff. You know, before the end of the year here. So hopefully I can get lucky and get some more of these for an even cheaper price. But yeah, really, really excited to get this as well for a decent price there. And, you know, those battle packs can definitely, they're definitely going to skyrocket in price. Battle packs are very, 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 very sought after in the LEGO community. So we'll see. You know, again, like I said, I'm not looking to resell them right now. Obviously, it's the long haul that you look for when you're investing in LEGO. Next that I bought here, I picked up for the minifigures because I think both of these are new to this set. I could be wrong with that Captain America minifigure, but went ahead and picked this up, and this is from the Age of Ultron opening scene, I guess. So you got Captain America and Black Widow on some decent looking bikes. They're not the most detailed, obviously, but I think this is a really fun little build. Got this for 20% off, so, you know, save some money there. But yeah, Captain America comes with that cowl piece as well as his hair, so that's a nice feature there, and obviously the shield. And then Black Widow comes with her batons, so nice little build there. Really, really excited to build that up. I do like the Infinity Saga like sub theme for Marvel, because like it's allowed them to really go back and do like other sets from other movies that they didn't do when the movies were coming out. So it's a really nice way to kind of get more sets from different movies. You know, we've seen that with like Iron Man and Age of Ultron. So I'm really excited to see what else they come up with when it comes to that sub theme there. All right, now these next 2 sets, again, I bought strictly for investment. And one of them here is the Dark Trooper Attack. So I did pick one of these up at Costco back when it first came out for, I think I got it for like $24. So at that time it was still $30, and I got it for 20% off at Costco. So now it's funny, it actually went up in price to $35, but because of the steep discount from Target, I actually got this for like $24. So I ended up getting it for around the same price as what I originally paid for the first one I bought. And actually, they're even cheaper online now today. So I'm actually thinking about buying another one of these, because these Dark Troopers, I don't think are going to appear in many other sets. I'll be very surprised if they show up in 1 or 2 more sets again, unless we get Dark Troopers in some other form of media again. And also that Luke Skywalker minifigure is just amazing. You know, with the hood piece and the lightsaber, and yeah, just a really nice minifigure there as well. So, yeah, I'm surprised this has been discounted. I think, again, this is one of the sets that's retiring at the end of this year. So if you haven't gotten one and you're thinking about getting one, this is the cheapest you're gonna find it. So I would highly recommend grabbing it if you haven't already. So really, really excited. And obviously this is from the 2nd season of Mandalorian. So really nice to get that, put that away in the sealed collection there. Another set I picked up to keep sealed. I told you guys that's what this whole section was about, pretty much. This is the Star Wars Republic Fighter Tank. So yeah, this set, when it originally was announced, got a lot of flack for its price being $40 for 262 pieces, but Yeah, these minifigures are amazing. You get 2 battle droids, 2 187th Legion clone troopers, a Legion clone commander, and then Mace Windu. Yeah, this was really hard to find for a while. Like when it first came out, it was like out of stock pretty much everywhere. It was hard to find, and even now it's still kind of hard to find. Like ever since that sale dropped, like it was sold out like within a day or two. Like people picked theirs up, and I'm really glad I got another one here before it retired. I think this one is definitely going to do very well in retirement, just because of the clone minifigures. Again, like we're probably not going to see these types of clones in another set for a long time, if ever. So, wanted to grab that. And it's funny because these clones actually don't exist in like the Star Wars series. Like these clones were actually made for this set. Like there's no like Mace Windu doesn't have purple clones in like any form of media in Star Wars. So, you know. And again, this is strictly pretty much for the minifigs. I mean, the build is pretty mediocre in my opinion. Like building this for the first time, it was not really that good. It just doesn't compare to the 2008 clone fighter tank that I have. So there's that. And lastly here, actually one set that I will open up and build today because I need to catch up is the Lego Star Wars Advent Calendar. So I grab these every year. I was able to get this one for I think $25, I think. And then it's annoying because I bought this from Target and then literally like 3 days later, Walmart had it for $5 cheaper. So could have saved $5, but whatever. Yeah, this advent calendar is pretty dang good. You get a clone trooper there from the 312th battalion, I think is or 313. I can't remember which one it is with Obi-Wan Kenobi's. You get a battle droid, you get like a Christmas pet droid there, you get Omega, you get an Ewok, you get Emperor Palpatine, you get Princess Leia from the Endor set. And just some really fun little mini builds there. So I'm really excited to open this up, build these every day here in December. I do have the Marvel one as well, so I'll have to open both of those up and give them a build at some point. But yeah, really fun to get this, and I'll have to see what I want to do. It's funny because like when I build all these, I put all these like mini builds in a bag and like put them in like a bin somewhere. Oops, I hit the camera. So yeah, let's see what I do with this. But yeah, that's pretty much like the only set I feel like, aside from that Rocket set and the Captain America Black Widow set that I'm actually gonna open. So there's that. But yeah, that was my Lego haul. So really fun stuff. A lot of good investment sets to kind of keep in the collection there. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the outro here for this video. Alright guys, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys had a great time watching this, and like I said, not really buying a lot of stuff right now, and just, investing for the future of some of this stuff, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, I will see you guys on the flip side. Peace.